It sounds like we have him. It's hard to argue, Attorney Lewis, that this is a win for Trump, but it does not close the door to prosecution. How does today's ruling impact him both legally and what a lot of people want to know, potentially politically?
Well, it's a big win in two ways. First of all, no trial's going to happen before the election. The Supreme Court's given the lower court a lot of homework to do, and that work's going to take a long time to do. So the trial will not happen until after the election. And if Trump wins, people believe Trump will pardon himself. So the election may never happen. On the substance, he was given immunity, absolute immunity for many of the things he does in the Oval Office, regardless of intent. It's hard to imagine a bigger win being given to Donald Trump by the Supreme Court. It's very far-reaching.
How does the lower court now go about figuring out the big issue here to parse out is whether or not the January 6th indictment and whether or not something was official business or not official business? I mean, I imagine parsing, for example, a conversation with his staff and the context around that could make all the difference. What arguments can we expect on both sides?
Well, the key is going to be the prosecutor now has to prove for certain of the acts alleged in the complaint or in the indictment. Is there an unwarranted intrusion in core responsibilities of the executive? If it's something like appointing the attorney general or similar staff, that kind of conduct is going to be given pure and absolute immunity. If it's something on the outer edge, such as where Congress and the president work together on certain duties, the prosecutor is going to have to argue that this is an area where the Constitution does permit criminal liability for the former president.
And I just got 10 seconds here. What does this mean for the Justice Department now? Does Special Counsel Jack Smith go back to the drawing board? He stayed pretty quiet today.
He's got a lot of work to do. He's got to implement a new standard announced for the first time by the Supreme Court today with new phrases like core constitutional duties. He's got a lot of work to do.
All right, Attorney Jeff Lewis joining us for a deeper dive. We appreciate